Made in Hollywood.
The action drama Rebel Moon Part 2: The Scargiver from director Zack Snyder is made in Hollywood.
In the end, I think the Rebel Moon universe has some stories left in it, you know, obviously based on the end of this movie.
Made in Hollywood.
Also on today's show, Christian Slater helps bring a hit book series to life in the family adventure, The Spiderwick Chronicles.
Once I saw what the special effects team was doing, and they sent me, some videos of the actual Mulgarath character that gave me the freedom to be as nuts and dangerous and scary as I possibly could be.
Plus, the sports drama Hard Miles features Matthew Modine. Nicolas Cage and Jaden Martell star in the horror thriller Arcadian, and Lucy Boynton gets a second chance in the time-traveling romantic drama The Greatest Hits. This week on Made in Hollywood.
Made in Hollywood.
Now available on your home screen. In defense of their new homeland, a group of eclectic warriors take a stand against the invading Mother World in director Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon Part 2: The Scargiver.
We knew pretty much when I was talking about the story, even as I was pitching it with Netflix, we were over like 220 pages for the script, and we were like, oh my God. And we cut it down to the version that you see. And the truth is, once you see movie 2, you really understand that it's like one thing, like one story.
Their nightmare is you and I fighting together.
You must know you cannot win.
She has changed. I think her heart opened up. You know, that's something that happened when your heart breaks and breaks and breaks and breaks, is that it opens up. With the help of Gunnar, who leads us to do so.
You're all here because there is nothing to return to. This story resonates loudly and mimics so much our reality in a way. I feel like I've lived this story for a long time and continue to live this story.
Through the leadership of Titus and bringing us all together and forcing us to bond against all odds.
Lie ahead of us all. We will teach you how to fight.
First, I will just say Sophia's an incredible partner and an incredible actress, and I trust her incredibly with the work.
I thought, wow, I'd get the chance to work with a director that is so innovative, that has true original ideas, that pushes the boundaries and take risks.
I have no choice but to fight.
He's a writer, he's a director, he's a cinematographer, and he seemed to be an art director as well, That's many hats he puts on a daily basis.
To see Zack and to see how comfortably he moves on a set and tells a story of this scope was really amazing.
He's there with you, he's holding the camera, he's like right next to me capturing what's happening.
To just make this dream a reality and to be a small part of it is truly, it's going to be such a memorable thing that I'll take away.
Those this village holds most dear, I shall destroy them.
He knows he's the villain. He has embraced horror as his lifestyle. He's embraced horror over morality for its efficiency. Purely this.
The Scargiver herself.
In the end, I think the Rebel Moon universe has some stories left in it, obviously based on the end of this movie.
Based on a true story, a strong-willed social worker and an unlikely team of juvenile convicts push themselves to the limit in the sports drama Hard Miles, starring Matthew Modine.
Your Honor, he has shown real promise. I'm begging this court to give him the chance to realize that.
At the beginning of the movie, I'm fighting so hard to save that the young kid in the trial that's being sent away, who's really made great strides to be a good person, and the system tosses him away and puts him into a more maximized prison. He loses him, and here's a character like Woolbright who doesn't seem to care, who breaks the rules all the time, and yet he's not punished. And so I think that Greg has an animosity toward him, and a bitterness toward him, because he's not trying, and that other kid tried, and Greg failed.
The Grand Canyon, are you kidding me?
Think in miles, not inches.
What's it gonna clock out at? 750 miles?
Good guess, 762. Each of these things is going to carry you across 3 states to the Grand Canyon.
But hear me out, I got a plan. Why don't we just drive?
What Greg Townsend was able to do, and it continues to do, is to help young people who have found themselves in reform school, to help them to be able to rehabilitate and get on with their lives and live productive lives. So that's I think was the most exciting aspect of the film for me, was to play a character like that.
Right now, you are unfamiliar with your bicycle.
The seat is killing my tape. Yeah, it's kind of stabbing my squeak. You'll get used to it.
Greg and our other screenwriter, Christian Sander, felt that it was really important that we understand this is why Greg is pushing people, because he was pushed by his own father. And I think it works very well in the film. It was probably just me nervous about wanting to expose my own difficulties in my personal relationship with my own father.
If you take those boys across the desert, they're going to fall apart.
They are going to see who they really are.
Help! Slow down! I get stuck!
The good news there is that you don't really have to think too much about acting. The bicycle and the hard miles that we were putting in take care of that. You just have to react to the circumstances of 110-degree heat, hundreds of miles that you're riding over the course of a day to be able to accomplish the goal of making the movie.
I don't know how you work with those kids every day.
High tolerance for pain, I guess.
Coming up, we go on an adventure with Christian Slater for the fantasy drama series, The Spiderwick Chronicles. To find out where to watch any movie, check out MoviePhone.com. Find it, watch it.
Once I saw what the special effects team was doing, and they sent me, some videos of the actual Mulgarath character that gave me the freedom to be as nuts and dangerous and scary as I possibly could be.
Made in Hollywood. Made in Hollywood.
Now available on your home screen. After moving back to their ancestral estate, a family begins to discover the magical secrets of their new home in the fantasy series The Spiderwick Chronicles, featuring Christian Slater.
This town is full of stories. Allow me to be your guide through the fantastical world around you.
Welcome to Spiderwick.
She's divorced. She wants to get a fresh start with her family. Also help her child deal with some things that he's going through. And so it's a lot. It's a lot on her shoulders.
Mallory knows what she wants to be, who she wants to be. Simon knows his place and who he wants to be, but Jared doesn't really know who he wants to be and where he fits in.
They're twin brothers at the end of the day, and they're always gonna be there for each other. And throughout, the season, we definitely start to see them have their own differences.
Mallory is angry that she had to move to this town. She definitely blames Jared. She makes that very, very clear, very quickly.
It's my fault we had to move here.
You've been going through a hard time for a while now.
And then for them to find this hidden world of magic and mythological creatures and all this, it's a lot. This poor mama is dealing with a lot.
Once we clean this house up, this will be great.
And I know we can all use a fresh start.
Once I saw what the special effects team was doing, and they sent me, some videos of the actual Mulgarath character that gave me the freedom to be as nuts and dangerous and scary as I possibly could be.
The world would be a better place without humans.
Find the pages. Put Spiderwick's field guide back together.
What they do is they shrink me down into little mouse size. No, I was in a booth and they had a puppet on set.
They actually had a little tiny Thimbletack puppet that they would just like kind of do this with. And it was like a little Barbie doll kind of thing. And then they'd
I want it. Why don't we have that?
You should ask for it. You should get it.
Having someone believe in you is the most powerful form of magic there is.
I've played so many moms in my career, and we just all hit it off right away, instantly, as soon as we met.
Joy's just great. She really feels like a mother on set, and I just love her to bits. She's amazing. And then Christian, I worked with him beforehand on another project of mine. I mean, you just gotta love him. He's a live wire.
What an icon. What I mean, I was so intimidated going into it just because I was so excited to meet him and work with him. And then I met him and he's just the coolest guy.
A reckoning is coming.
She's gonna make sure that her family is taken care of to the best of her abilities, and they're gonna fight this good fight together.
Yeah. It's nice that Mulgarath is the impetus for all of that.
Yeah.
The irony of it is that he is truly the thing that bonds you all together.
To find out where to watch any movie, check out MoviePhone.com. Find it, watch it. Up next, Nicolas Cage and Jaden Martell star in the horror thriller Arcadian, and the romantic drama The Greatest Hits features Lucy Boynton.
Nick is one of the most collaborative people you work with. Obviously, he's an incredibly talented actor, but on top of that, he's such a selfless scene partner.
Made in Hollywood. Made in Hollywood.
Here's what's hot on screen. After an apocalyptic event, a father and his two sons struggle to survive their dystopian reality in the horror thriller Arcadian, featuring Nicolas Cage and Jaden Martell.
There are those who believe they came after the pollution people caused. And they're here to cleanse the planet of the human race. So we'll all become extinct.
It's very much about these two brothers who grew up in the same environment, but their differences in thinking kind of separate them. There's always that brotherly love, but that comes to a head when Thomas thinks with his heart and gets everyone into trouble.
You're late!
Sorry, I lost track of time.
In many ways, Thomas is really similar to his father. Yeah, they have this kind of physicality thing in common, in that confidence in their own abilities to survive. He is this really impulsive person who relies on his instincts 99.9% of the time. And yeah, I mean, you can only cage an animal for so long before it just needs to run free for a little bit. Nick is one of the most collaborative people you work with. Obviously, he's an incredibly talented actor, but on top of that, he's such a selfless scene partner. The amount of questions he asks himself, us, and the director, he's asking, what is the purpose of this scene? How do we move that forward? His ability to come in and ask all those questions, and that ability for it to rub off on you, really colors all the work that you do and all that stuff that builds a history behind these characters.
They're coming up from underneath us. So break in any second.
A lot of it comes from books. He's constantly absorbing knowledge, and that comes from a fascination with the old world, what could have been, and then it becomes what could be.
You need to trust me.
Now available on your home screen. After the death of her boyfriend, a woman discovers a magical connection to her former lover in the time-traveling romantic drama The Greatest Hits, starring Lucy Boynton.
2 years ago, my boyfriend Max passed away. I can't seem to pull myself back together.
It's not just for nostalgia's sake. She physically cannot move on. She has this kind of haunted by music medical affliction, really. So she has to live with those headphones on, and she has to live a very distanced life, therefore.
Ever since the accident, certain songs literally pull me back into the past.
What do you want to do today?
All of it.
When I read it, I kind of approached it as a time travel sci-fi film, and then realized that I'm actually doing the same thing as she is with her playlist. I'm very nostalgic, very sentimental, and all of my playlists take me back to a time, place, or person.
I used to listen to this album over and over. And I love how music can do that.
What?
Pull you back to some moment in time.
I'm usually listening to music 80% of my day, so I'll always be hearing something that reminds me of someone or a particular time and place in my life. And there are definitely days where I specifically listen to certain songs because I want to be transported back to that time or place.
You met someone new. How is this a bad thing?
I would still listen to every record that ever existed to save him.
I mean, essentially, she's trying to save his life. She really believes that if she can find the song that they were listening to just before Max makes a pivotal decision that's set into motion the sequence of events, she can convince him otherwise and save him. And I think that is such a weighty thing to put upon yourself, and so she allows herself to be completely consumed by it. It dictates her whole present tense and has really allowed her to become so dislocated from everyone else around her.
It feels like I'm cheating.
You coming?
Stay tuned, there's more coming up on Made in Hollywood.
Made in Hollywood.
Thanks for watching Made in Hollywood, powered by MoviePhone. For more behind-the-screen content, check out MoviePhone.com.